Okay. Yes, thank you very much. I hope welcome everyone to this our first webinar on Google Hangout. I would like to you. Wait, let me just go back before that. Welcome everyone to our webinar on DSG Webinar. We have here with us Ani Munira Muhammad, ATLASti Malaysia.com. And before I go on to introduce her, I would like to tell you more about what DSG is all about and why we are doing this. Yeah. So a lot of I believe that most participants in this in today's webinar are from Doctorate Support Group, which is DSG on Facebook. So DSG has been going on. We have started DSG since the year 2007. So we have a lot of workshops, physical workshops, seminars, and now we are introducing webinars. The reason being, you can see that all of us can attend online, and most of the instructors can also perform online, can share their slides online. So that's why we are moving forward with webinars this year. So this is, I believe, the second webinar after we have done with IEEE with DSG Advisor Hazman. So now Ani Munira will talk about ATLASti. I hope you're ready, Ani Munira. Are you ready, Ani Munira? Yes, I would like to invite Ani Munira to introduce a bit about ATLASti, and then we shall move on with the webinar. Okay, Ani Munira, slides are to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Anita Adnan, for inviting me for this first webinar. I am so very much excited because I found out the demand is quite popular because a lot of our DSG members were unable to attend the first DSG webinar. First DSG seminar. So that is the main reason why we are coming up with a series of webinar, starting out with the around 6 to 7 speakers who have already presented during the seminar last time. And what we are doing now is to represent what we have presented during the seminar and through the online medium. It is hoped that we can reach a wider audience. Anyhow, I just would like to do a sound check with all of our participants. We have around 73 people who have registered for the webinar today. So if you can see in your screen, there is a question box at the bottom of your screen. Now, can you please type in, if you can hear me clearly, can you please type in yes? Or if there is a problem, then I will know that you will be typing no. While you are doing that, I'm going to check what is your response. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, that's splendid. Awesome. I can see that there are a lot of yes that you are saying, that you can hear me clearly. All right, thank you very much. Now, I think it's time for me to share my screen. Where is it? Okay. All right. So this is what we will do. This is the exact PowerPoint presentation that I did the presentation on managing literature reviews using ATLASti. This will take around approximately less than 30 minutes because I am hoping to open a Q&A session after this. All right. Now, I have a few questions. I would like to start this session with a few questions. I hope you can see my screen. Okay. Now, my question is, have you ever experienced the question that I put on your screen right now? I think I have downloaded this article before. Okay. Now, this is, again, I would like to seek your help. If you can key in the question box below your screen, if you have ever experienced a situation where you have downloaded one article and when you read through, you think that you have downloaded this article before. Okay. Can you please type in yes or no at the bottom of your screen in the question box? Okay. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, there are, if you answered yes, a lot of yeses here I am getting, that this is a quite a popular problem when researchers are engaging in literature reviews, okay, because they do not have a proper system to manage their literatures. Now, the next question, please bear with me because I have around three or four questions that I would like to ask you now. The next question is, have you ever experienced a situation whereby you tell yourself, I think I have read this somewhere? You know, this is slightly different from the first one. The first one is, I think I have downloaded this article. And then when you are reading through, I think I have read the same point in this article A before. Probably I have read it before in another article. Okay, can you please type in the question box below, because I would like to do a small survey because I want to see if everybody is experiencing the same problem that I have it last time. I think I have read this somewhere, but I cannot remember where. Okay, can you please type in your questions? All right, thank you very much. Aha. Mm-hmm. Yes, if then there is a problem. Okay. Uh, anyway, okay, thank you very much, everybody. Now, the next question is, have you ever experienced a situation whereby you can read one article and you think, yes, I know what these authors are talking about, but I just cannot recall who said what and when was the article actually published? Okay, so this is another common problem faced by our researchers, that they find it as having problem in relating the points that they have already have in their hand to who actually said that and when. Okay. Now, the last question that I want to ask you is, have you ever experienced, I know this, but how come I cannot write? Okay. I know this point, but I am having a writer's block. But how come I cannot write? Right. Now, having brainstormed some of the questions that I have explained earlier, okay, I would like to introduce myself now. Who am I? As you can see on your screen, I am legally trained academically. I obtained my Bachelor of Laws honors from Islamic University, Malaysia. I also have Masters of Comparative Law from the same university and Diploma in Sharia Law and Practice from IIUM. Currently, I am completing my PhD in Law from University Technology Mara Shah Alam. Due to my passion to qualitative research and also the usage of computer-aided qualitative analysis software at ATLASti, I have developed two websites, as you can see on your screen, kajiankualitatif.com and also atlastimalaysia.com. Now, kajiankualitatif.com is a website generally discussing about the qualitative research, my sharing, and also there are a few freemium items on the website if you can just take some time to go and visit. And another one is atlastimalaysia.com, whereby it is compiling all the information about training updates and also previous courses that we have conducted in Malaysia regarding how to use ATLASti for literature reviews and also for qualitative analysis. All right, now my own experience. I have the problem of doing literature reviews last time, and all the problems that I have asked you at the beginning of this presentation ever happened to me. Okay, I have a problem in managing my own literatures, and once I have managed all the literatures, I have read through the points and I have added. I know that I have a problem in managing the points in the literatures. Later on, when I have already managed the points in the literatures, I have a problem in reducing the points into written format. Okay, all right. Having said that, I would like to introduce to you the concept of coding. Now, coding is a very commonly used terminology in qualitative research and probably in quantitative research as well. But within this context of the presentation, the coding that I am referring to refers to two things. Okay, a combination of two things. Number one is you determine the text segment, or in other words, you use a highlighter pen to highlight the important points in your research. That is the first one. The second part of coding means you give it a tagging or a label or a code name. Simply put, if you do coding, it will mean you highlight a specific text segment and then you give it a tagging or label to it. All right. This is an example of coding system. Okay. If we do it manually, now everybody is so familiar with this already, that you have a hard copy document in front of you and you do the specific highlightings, okay? And then you can see on your right hand side, on your left hand side, there are scribbles of notes, okay? Sometimes they are in between the text. This is an example of a traditional coding process whereby the researcher will put the document in front of him and they do the highlighting and they will write notes or they write concepts. So they put specific label to each of these taggings. Now, how many of us are very familiar to use this concept? Okay. Now, moving forward, if you do not want to do some highlighting and tagging on the traditional paper itself, some of us are very familiar using stick-on notes or sticky notes, the ones you can see on your screen right now. Now, the sticky notes are very useful for us to use different colors to show different concepts, uh, different concepts or different uh, codes or tagging. Okay, for example, the green colored points is on the definition, the purple colored points is on the problems, the pink colored points is on the solution probably. So from each of the articles, when you read, you write on the stick-on notes depending on the colors. And at the end of the day, you're going to have a compilation of green colored sticky notes, a compilation of red colored sticky notes, a compilation of blue colored sticky notes. So then you will be able to make sense. For example, compiling all the green colored points of the definition, you now will be able to know different documents, how these different authors define the terminology of education probably, or ICT probably, how authors define them. Now, this is, if you realize, if you can capture what this table is, this is a literature review matrix table. Okay, in fact, it is a part of literature review matrix table whereby the researcher will open a new Microsoft Word document and put in the tables, or they can also open an Excel document for this. First, what they do is they will put a designation for the citation. Okay, as you can see, Raffaelli 1988, Heaton 1989, and probably some more citation. Okay, and you can also go for the key features. Okay, from each of these documents. What are the key features discussed in Raffaelli 1989 and 1988? And then how does Raffaelli define the word interactivity, for example? These are the common things that we will look for in a document, and we will put them into a table format. At the end of the day, we are going to have a lot of literatures which we have reduced them into specific points in our literature review matrix table. Now, this is also very popular among researchers on how they want to do literature reviews. But there is a problem with this. Okay, not a problem. But I'm saying that this is a very good method how to do literature reviews, provided you are consistent from the very first article that you are doing it until the end of until the last article. Why? Because the moment you have one document, you need to fill in all the columns in the table. Now, moving forward from traditional highlighting to sticky notes to literature review matrix table, I would like to introduce to you the concept of doing literature reviews using ATLASti. Now, this is a screenshot from our ATLASti version 7, okay, on where you will see on your screen right now. This is the data segment of the software. So the interface of the ATLASti software tries to retain as much as possible the interface of traditional highlighting. Okay, so therefore, if you are familiar with traditional highlighting, then you will not have a problem in ATLASti because the software retains as much as possible the pen and paper concept. What do I mean by that? Okay, now the largest screen on the largest segment on your screen right now, we call it as the data segment. This is where your literature reviews will appear. And on your right hand side here, you will see that these parts contain some of the codes, for example, advantages, resources, and how to. Okay, and in the code manager, these are the code managers, and you will find each time you do some coding on the literatures, it will be labeled as such, and the number of quotations will be shown on your right hand side, which is consistent to the list of codes that you have. Okay, now if you're familiar with traditional, I assure you I can help to guide you how to use ATLASti for the purpose of literature reviews. Now, some background on the ATLASti software. First, the origin of the ATLASti software, it was developed by a company which is based in Berlin, Germany. It started off as an interdisciplinary research project. We have educationists, we have psychologists, we have technologists who sit down together and let's come up with a text interpretation software for prototype. Okay, realizing that the prototype has commercial value, so what they do is they developed it as a computer-aided qualitative data analysis software with the trade name ATLASti, and our first commercial release came out in 1993. Now we are currently in version 7.5 for Windows, and we also have a native version 1.1 for Mac. Okay, so if you are using MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, so you can download our native ATLASi version 1.1. Other than the desktop version for Windows and also Mac, we also have the iPad and Android app. So if you have iPad 2 or above and also Android 4 or above, you can just go to Play Store or App Store to download our ATLASti mobile app for free. Now, the purpose of the ATLASti mobile app is to facilitate mobile data collection and data analysis. So when you go for data collection, for example, you open the ATLASti app and you record the interview. On your way back, you can already analyze the interviews because they are in your iPad or Android. Okay, and the projects created in iPad or Android, you can transfer them into the Windows, into the desktop version. Right. Now, I was explaining a little bit just now on the coding process. You remember what is coding process? It is the process of identifying a text segment and putting a label to it. Now, let us imagine in front of us, we have 5 journal articles. As you can see on your left-hand side here, I have added 5 textual data. Okay, there are this is one journal article, another journal article, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. We read through the data. Okay, now I'm explaining about the literature review process. So from each of our literatures, we found that these literatures contain important points. What are the important points? They could be blue colored points, red colored points, yellow colored points. Now, this identification of the most important points in our literatures, we as the researcher will need to do it. Okay. Now, although the software ATLASti can help to manage our literatures The software cannot do the reading for us. It cannot do the review for us. It is just to facilitate managing the literatures and managing the important points. I am sorry if I disappoint you. If you think that there is a push button inside of the ATLASti software that you have 10 literatures, you put into the software and then you push a button to get the review, I am sorry to disappoint you, okay? Because the process is still the same. You will still need to read through the literatures and identify this particular paragraph or sentence or phrase refers to a specific label or tagging or code, right? These are blue colored, and you will see the blue colored points also appear in documents 1, document 2, 3, 4, and 5th. Now, yellow colored points is still the same and red colored points is still the same. So what is it that we want to do with it? If traditional concept, we will hold the paper in front of us and we will skim through and find if there are any points talking about the blue colored points, and then we will copy that into our Microsoft Word. Second document, here's another blue colored point. Or the third one, here's another blue colored point. What about if there are red colored points? It's the same thing. You're going to go through one by one of the documents. What we want to achieve at the end of the day is we want to compile all our yellow colored points, as you can see on your right screen right now. Okay, we want to compile all these yellow colored points to be together, the red colored points to be together, and the blue colored points to be together. Why? Because we are writing our literature reviews not based on what a person says, but instead we are based on thematic coding. We are reading through or we are writing based on the themes. For example, the yellow colored points are talking about definition, and you will see right now and then that when you have compiled all the yellow colored points, you will see that author A defines a certain concept like this. Author B defines it differently. This author agrees with author A, while this author has a neutral opinion, for example. Now, having them in one place is very, very useful in the sense that we will manage the points from within one place only. Okay, you don't need to feedback through the process. Now, how can ATLASti do to help this retrieval process? Now, instead of printing our hard copy documents, what we do now is we put all these documents inside of the software and we read through the articles from within the ATLASti itself. Now, instead of using the traditional highlighter with different colors, for example, yellow color, green color, red color, blue color highlighter, for example, now we are only going to use our computer's cursor. Okay, you just bring your mouse to one paragraph and you highlight that paragraph and you put a coding to it to be blue colored points, red colored points, or yellow colored points. All right. Now, when you are done reading through the 5 articles doing the exact same process, okay, you have highlighted them and you have also given them a coding or a label. Now, ATLASti will step in at this moment to help with the retrieval process. You just give instructions and ATLASti will retrieve for us everything that we have highlighted before and put them into one central location, which is a new rich text format document editable using Microsoft Word. Now, you might find that is a little bit too much to consume, but in layman terms, what this means is that ATLASti will go and retrieve for us all the blue colored points, red colored points, and yellow colored points and compile them together in a central location. Now, if you have 5 documents, ATLASti can do it. You have 10 documents, hundreds of documents, thousands of documents, it's still the same thing. ATLASti will help you to retrieve. You never need to go back to the original article again. I said need, you don't need to, but if you want, yes, there is a process how to do that. Right. Having introduced to you the concept of doing or managing your literature reviews using ATLASti, I would like to introduce to you the 3 steps that we are going to do literature reviews using ATLASti. Now, even if you don't use ATLASti, you are still going through these 3 steps in doing or managing your literature reviews traditionally using a software, using sticky notes, using traditional highlighters, for example. Okay. There are only 3 steps. Step number 1, you're going to prepare the literatures. Preparing means you need to go to online databases, okay, and you also need to online databases, and also you need to download them, put them into Mendeley or EndNote, for example, and then you will compile them, put them into ATLASti software. Step number 2, you're going to read through the literatures. You're going through the literatures, meaning you're going to do the highlighting, you're going to put the codings, and then you put some memos, scribble notes on it, for example. And step number 3, you're going to prepare the review. Can you tell me if this is the steps that you are going to undertake even if you don't use ATLASti? The first thing, you're going to collect the literatures. Number 2, you're going to read through the literatures. And number 3, you are going to prepare the review. Now, I'm going to demonstrate how to do just that in ATLASti software. I'm going to open ATLASti software now. Okay. And at the moment, I also have one, oops. Okay. This is the interface of the ATLASti software. Right, I'm going to open a sample document now. All right. As you will see on your screen, this is the interface of the software. I'm going to maximize it so that everybody can see, right? Now, this is a sample project. Your literatures will appear in the main text over here. Okay, for example, this is a PNG document entitled Welcome. And on your right-hand screen, this is the margin area. You will see this is a code. Right, I'm going to minimize this for a while because I need to show you a sample data folder that I have on my desktop. This is the sample data folder. I'm going to open it. And you will see there are 8 documents. They are all literatures, and I have named them according to the format of author here. In our one-day course on doing literature reviews using ATLASti, I will teach you some soft skills, how to do how to deal with your literatures. For example, the literatures, how we suggest you to name them will be in the format of author here. There is a reason for that. I'm going to explain about that in a while. Now, step number 1, we collect all the literatures and put them into one place. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add them to the ATLASti project. As you can see, these are all PDF documents, right? I'm going to close this. I'm going to open ATLASti again, but yet I'm not going to do project on this read-only file. I'm going to create a new project by going to Project, New Hermeneutic Unit. Close this one. Right, I have all the documents. I have this new project, no documents yet, no highlightings yet, and no codes yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add those 8 documents on my desktop by going to Documents, New, Add Documents. I'm going to navigate to my desktop for the sample data folder. That's it. And here they are. Okay, I'm going to highlight all. I'm going to open. And ATLASti will tell me that all files were successfully converted and added to the HA project. It's very easy. Okay, I'm going to do the drop-down menu now. Sorry, I should do this. Rearrange them accordingly. Okay, now, for example, document number 1. This is written by Balmeo 2012. This is the article. Okay, from Bhavna 2013, from Fitzel 2012, Healy 2008. Okay, and also Price 2010. All right, I was talking just now about coding, right? Because coding is identifying a text segment and naming them accordingly. Now, let me do just this. I want to share with you that there are 2 types that we can come up with our codes, our list of codes. The first method is deductive codes. Deductive means we want to deductive codes means we already have a framework. We already know what are the skeleton or what are the subtopics for our chapter 2. So what we do is we simply list the code names. For example, I'm going to go here, code, create free codes. And for example, 2.1 is introduction. 2.2 is concept of education. 2.3 is theory of ICT adoption in education. And 2.4, problems in education system. 2.5 is government initiatives, education. And 2.6 is conclusion, for example. Okay, so this is the skeleton for our chapter 2, because we know what are the subheadings for our chapter 2 already. So we just tell ATLASti, these are the important things in my literature review chapter that I want to find from my literatures. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to click on OK, and all the codes have already been added. Now I'm going to open the code manager, and I'm going to arrange them so that I can see all the code names at the same time. Right. Now, this is exactly the same view as you have seen in my slides just now. I have the literatures in front of me, and I also have the code manager in front of me, plus the groundedness. What do I mean by groundedness is how many highlightings do I have for each particular code. And at the moment, all the groundedness are numbered 0. It means I have not added any quotations yet. Quotations are the highlighted segments. There are no highlightings yet for each and every one of these. So what I do as a researcher now, what we're going to do is I have the literatures in front of me, and the code manager is on my right hand side. These are the things that I want to find. And I find that this is a problem in education because it talks about how much basic knowledge should be taught. So I find, this is a problem. So what I do is I will simply drag this code onto the highlighted segment, and that's it. It's very easy. Now, it shows that this particular highlighted segment has already been coded with problems in education. You will see that in the margin area. And at the same time, in your code manager, you have one groundedness for each code, for the code of problems in education. Let me show that just again. Okay. Now, this is on initiative. Government initiative. What I do is I will just drag the code from the code manager to the highlighted segment, and that's it, right? Moving on to another document, for example, I'm going to do example on this one. Okay. Every parent, this is the concept of education, because parents will be excited about the children getting concept. What I do is exactly the same thing. Drag and drop. It's simply mix matching what does this paragraph talks about. I just mix match that paragraph with one code, for example. That is what we call as deductive codes. Now, another concept is we call it as inductive codes. Inductive is when you are reading through the article. I'm going to open another document now, for example, from Brown. I find that this article talks about suggestion. Okay, and then this part talks about suggestion. But oh no, I cannot drag and drop from the code manager to the highlighted segment because there are no suggestions over here. What I do is I will simply add a new code. How to do that? If there is no code yet in the code manager, the ones that you want, so you just add a new code by highlighting, right click, choose coding, and choose enter code name. The corresponding number I'm going to give is 2.6. Okay, 2.6 suggestions for improvement. All right, and I'm going to click on OK, and now suddenly we have 2.6. Okay, the same thing happened. This highlighted segment has already been coded with a new code name, and that new code name has been added to the code manager. But wait, now we have 2.6. Because ATLASti does not arrange for us automatically, we need to rename this conclusion to become 2.7. Like that. And now I need to sort the code names. Okay, for example, I'm going to right click on a code and go to sort by name. Now they have been arranged accordingly. 2.1, 2.2. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this so that it will be easier for us to do the output later on. Okay, and another one on document number 8, for example. It's also the same thing. At the end of the day, you are going to have one project which has lots of highlightings in it, and those highlightings have been arranged accordingly by ATLASti. This I don't even read. I'm just want to show you a demonstration of how to do the deductive codes, right? Deductive and inductive. For example, like this. All right. Okay. At one point in time, you will need to save your project. So you just go to the diskette icon and you save it onto your desktop. For example, first DSG webinar, for example, on managing literature reviews. Okay, save it. And here it is. It is already on your desktop. first DSG webinar on managing literature reviews. Okay, right now, deductive and inductive codes. Another concept I wish to talk about is auto-coding. Auto-coding means you ask ATLASti to find for you a specific keyword, and then you get ATLASti to do the coding for you. You don't need to read through one by one of the articles to search through the points, but instead what you do is you ask ATLASti to do the pinpointing of the location. Now, I wish to qualify myself. I am not saying that auto-coding is a process to shortcut to the reading process. No, it's not. It is simply a process of telling us what to do if pinpointing a specific location. Now, let me give you a sample instruction. Okay, I'm just going to make it bigger. What I'm going to do is, number one, I want ATLASti find for me the keyword education, where in all my documents, and once found in all my documents, please highlight or create quotation from the sentence. Okay, I want ATLASti to not only highlight the keyword education, but I want ATLASti to highlight for me the keyword the sentence containing the keyword. Okay, and number 4 is to code it with specific code. Code it with education. Right. So here it is. The instruction that I want to give to ATLASti. I will just go to my ATLASti project. Okay. I'm gonna go to codes, coding, auto coding. The instructions that I'm gonna give is, please find for me the keyword education. So I type it here in all my documents. And once found it, please highlight the sentence which contains the keyword education, and please code it with a specific code name education. Now, I don't take any specific existing codes, is because I want to differentiate which codes that I did auto-coding on, which codes did I do deductive and inductive ones. Okay, for example here, okay. Now, this fulfills the instructions that I have. If everybody is following me, what I want to do is, please find for me the keyword education in all my documents. Once ATLASti finds it, please highlight the sentence containing the keyword education and code it with education. And this is how the instructions looks like. I want to find the keyword education in all my documents. Once found, please highlight the sentence and code it with education. And now I will start. Okay? First start. If I confirm always, ATLASti will bring me to the first sentence. Education presents the same challenge. I find that this is important, so I will code it. If I code it, ATLASti will code it and bring me to the next sentence. See? Here, on top here, I did not do the coding, but instead ATLASti does it for me, right? It brings me to the next sentence. Yep, important. Yes, important. But this one, I don't find it to be important, so what I do is I will skip it. Skip it. Skip it, skip it, skip it, skip it, and it will bring me to the next one. Code it, for example, it will be coded accordingly. But what if I don't confirm always? For example, I don't check at the confirm always here, but I will click on the button start, meaning ATLASti will not confirm each time with me. Instead, ATLASti will do the coding automatically on the sentence without asking me each time. As you can see here, there are 218 quotations which have been assigned to the current code. Accordingly, in our code manager, there have been a total of 224 sentences from our 8 articles which talks about education. What I need to do now is I need to revisit each and every one of these quotations. For example, I will double click on the code education. It will open for me a list of quotation box, and I will just click on one quotation. It will bring me to the original location. Okay, this is document number 2. Even the title will be highlighted. Okay, let me move on to document number 5. Let me move on to document number 7, for example. It is simply getting ATLASti to pinpoint for us which is the location which contains a specific keyword that we have given instructions to it. And we don't even need to go through one by one. Now, like I said, this is not a shortcut to the reading process, but instead it is, how do I say this? Instead, it is simply pinpointing to us. If you don't have an idea about a specific keyword, you just get to do ATLASi in auto coding in ATLASi, and you will be able, ATLASi will be able to pinpoint for you the sentence, specific sentence which talks about the subject matter that you have given instructions. Okay, right. I'm gonna save this project. I'm gonna check if there are any questions so far. Right. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. There are a couple of questions at the moment. If anybody is connected to the meeting room, if you have any questions, can you please type in the bottom side, the bottom of your screen? There is a box for quotation, for questions. You just type in, and I will compile all these questions to answer during the Q&A. Now, the first step is you compile all the literatures. The second step is you do the coding. And the third step is you will need to prepare the review. Now, the software, ATLASti, cannot do the review for you, but instead it can only manage your literatures and manage your important points. I have tried to make that point earlier on. So instead of visiting one by one of the quotations that I have shown earlier, what if I want a compilation of everything that I have highlighted before? So what I do is I will just go to Network View, for example, my literature review. Now, this is an example of a visual output of our analysis. Okay. Now, I have 2.1 until 2.7. What I do is I will just drag them into here, and I can rearrange them, for example, for the introduction, for the concept, for the theory, for the problems. You can have one drawing block, new drawing block containing all the chapters for your chapterization. Okay. According to a question by Amy, yes, you asked if you can search two words for autocoding. Yes, definitely you can. You can search for two words for autocoding. If there is a special term for it, for example, proton saga or Ani Munira or whatever the informed consent, Malaysian law, for example, but it will not search for each individual keyword. If you have a specific phrase for that, then that's fine. It can be done. Okay, now visual output I was talking about just now. I want to do this. I want to bring in everything that I have highlighted for that code. Import quotation. So it is here. Instead of doing that like that, I will just change this quotation verbosity to full text. It will tell me for the introduction, this is what I will be saying. Concept of education, this is what I will be doing. Okay, I will be talking about, okay, these are the points that I have highlighted for that particular code, right? Import quotation, but I can also do it entirely, I think. Let me just test that. Okay. I will just right click, import common neighbors. Aha, it's exactly how I have thought it would be. Okay, we're gonna move this a little bit to here, right, so that we will be able to see all. Now, if you do this for one code only, yes, you can. If you want to do for your entire chapters for your chapterization, it's also fine. What is the benefit of bringing out everything that we have highlighted now? This is not copy and paste. Copy and paste means you go to the original segment, you copy that and paste it into this visual form. No, this is ATLASti which is highlighted for us and retrieve for us everything that we have considered to be important. Why it is important to have it in visual format? Because it will be easier, for example, for the concept of education. I find that this quotation is not similar as this one, so it will be easier for us to do some relationships, for example, like this. Contradict. I find that this quotation contradicts this quotation, and therefore in my literature review chapter, what I will do is instead of telling one view says this, one view says that, now I have a richer explanation or critics in relation to these quotations, okay, just to tell them that there is a contradiction. For example, here there are problems. Now this problem is associated with another problem, okay, or this discusses this problem, for example. It will be easier for us. I can save this, and I want to show you how to do. What about this 224? No, I will just output this one. Okay, for example, what I have shown you just now is visual output. We can also have textual output, something like this. Highlight all the codes that you want, and you will choose all codes with quotation. And ATLASti will go and identify all the highlighted segments, and now it asks us whether I want to go to editor. Yes, here it is. This is a compilation of everything that I have highlighted before. I'm just going to make the wordings bigger, okay, another time. Okay, all right. This is how it will appear. If you have arranged your list of codes in the format of author year, okay, so this is how it will come out. For 2.1 introduction, Brown 2010 says this. For 2.2, the concept of education, Bhavna, how to push down? Okay, whoops. 2.2. Okay, Bhavna says every parent's one. Price 2012, nothing is more ingrained. Theory of ICT in adoption in education, Bhavna 2006-2013 says this. You will see how ATLASti arranges our output. If you have created the codes to be according to your chapterization, it will be easier for you in your output to have all your codes arranged, code A, code B, code 2.1, code 2.2, code 2.C. And in beneath that code names, you will have the document name. For example, author year say what, author year say what, author year say what. In my opinion, this is a very powerful feature of ATLASti that can help us to manage our literatures and manage our literature review. When you save this is a Microsoft Word document, or to be exact, this is a rich text format document. You save it on your desktop, for example. I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to save it, right? Now, let me go to my desktop and see how it looks like. Here it is. It's a Microsoft Word document, the output that I have created just now in the format of rich text format. So it is easier for you to look at what are the codes, code name, author year say what, author year say what, code name, author year say what, author year say what. Now, instead of reporting Brown says what, Fizzle say what, you will now need to look through what is the similarity or differences between author A to author B. It turns out that Brown 2010 contradicts Fizzle 2012. How do you know that? Because this definition contradicts this definition. So instead of saying Brown say what, Fizzle say what, you'll be saying that the view by Brown is slightly different from the view by Fizzle because Brown views blah, blah, blah. As opposed to Fizzle, he viewed that blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it'll be easier for you to reduce these points into writing. Coming back. All right, so that's it for my demonstration because those are the 3 steps. Step number 1, let me just come back to my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, step number 1, you prepare the literatures. Download the literatures important for you, put them into ATLASti. Step number 2, go through the literatures. Yes, you still need to read through. You still need to understand the literatures and find out this part talks about what. Therefore, you do the highlighting and you drag and drop the specific code names. And the last step is you are going to prepare the review guided by our outputs. Now, outputs can be visual. They can also be textual, the ones that I have shown you just now. In conclusion, I wish to conclude that ATLASti software can help you with the management of the literatures. Now, instead of saying to ourselves now, how many among the participants today go back to your village to celebrate some holiday and you bring with you hundreds of articles together because you fear if you don't bring them, you leave them in the office, you're going to have a migraine thinking about the job that you have back there. But if you bring it together with you, together to your village, even if you don't take a look at it during the holidays, it's okay because it's a peace of mind. Now, instead of having the literatures in hard copy format and leaving them at multiple places at the office, at the home, in the kitchen, for example, now you have them in one central location. Second, ATLASti can help with the management of important points in the literatures. This is different from number one. Number one is where do you want to save all your literatures? Number two, how do you want to manage the important points? The important points would mean the parts that you have done the highlighting. Highlighting 1, highlighting 2, highlighting 3, for example, for the specific course. If you do it correctly, how we teach you during the 1-day course on how to do literature reviews using ATLASti, there are some soft skills that we'll be sharing, and you will be doing that hands-on on your own computer using your own literatures and engaging in your own set of codes depending on your own chapter 2 chapterization. I can assure you that this will help you to manage the important points, and I'm going to show you hands-on how to do that during the 1-day course on using ATLASti for literature reviews. Last but not least, how can ATLASti help you with your literature reviews? It can help to overcome the writer's block. What do I mean by this? You know you have read a lot. You know all the important points, but the problem is you have a writer's block. You don't know how to write. But now, can you tell me, by having the visual output and also textual output of the ATLASti software just now, you have it in a JPEG format and also you have it in a textual format, editable using Microsoft Word, cannot you say to yourself that this is the opportunity or this is a time for me to uh, do away with the writing, because now I can have all the points in front of me. What I need to do is to reduce these points into paragraph format or sentences format, paraphrase format, and what is important, you still need to cite the literatures. Again, you can test this software on your own. You simply need to go to our official website at www.atlasti.com, navigate to the free trial version. You can download the software for free, the trial version. I highly encourage you to do that. Of course, this is not a compulsory instruction. I just encourage you to go and test for yourself. This recording of the webinar today will be made available to you. So if you miss any steps, you can just refer back to the steps that I have demonstrated just now. Using the software on your own computer, you own a MacBook, you own a Windows computer, you can just download the appropriate setup file, install on your computer, and test on your own literatures. But I need to caution you, the trial version is limited to 10 documents only. So in my opinion, that is more than enough for you to test out the version. Although there is no time limit for the trial version, you can test the software forever. Okay, there is no time limit for it. Second, this presentation slide is made available for you to download for free. You just need to go to Doctorate Support Group. What is that? You may ask me, oh, what is Doctorate Support Group? That is the main host or sponsor for our webinar today, and also series of the webinars that we are going to have after this. On Facebook, there is a group called Doctorate Support Group. If you are not a member yet, please join as a member. Request to join as a member, and our nice and friendly admins will help to approve your request. Now, I don't have the URL with me at the moment, but you can simply go to Facebook and search for Doctorate Support Group. At the moment, we have approximately 35,000 members of Doctorate Support Group, and this webinar is proudly sponsored by DSG. Any questions? You can simply mail to me, myself, animonira@gmail.com, and any discussion we can have in Doctorate Support Group. But at the moment, I hope Sister Anita Adnan is still with us. I'm going to
Yep.
check if there are any questions.
Yes, I'm still here, Annie.
Okay. Oh, we have around 7 questions so far. Number 1. Asi asked, Assalamualaikum, madam. I have two questions. The first question is, compared to Mendeley, which one is easier for analyzing articles? I really can't answer this question because Mendeley is not a computer-aided qualitative analysis software. It is a bibliographic reference software. These two softwares belong to two distinct groups. Number one, Bibliographic Reference Manager, example Mendeley and NoteRefWorks. Another group of softwares, we call it as computer-aided qualitative analysis software, which can help you with the content analysis. Therefore, if a user comes to me and asks me, which one should I choose, Mendeley or ATLASti? I'm going to say you need both. Why? Because Mendeley cannot do what ATLASti can do. ATLASti cannot do what Mendeley can do. Mendeley can help you with the in-text citation and also building your list of bibliographies. As opposed to ATLASti, it can help you to do content analysis, reading through the contents of your literatures. Now, the output from your ATLASti, you will need to reduce them into writing in your research report, be them dissertation, be them thesis, be them any research report that you have. But for the in-text citation and also list of bibliographies, you need the help of Mendeley. So I will say choose one from each group. It's not necessarily Mendeley. It can be EndNote, it can be RefWorks. Likewise, from the CutDAS software, it need not be Atlas. It can also be other qualitative softwares because they can do exactly the same thing. Okay, now the next question, how to analyze two families with the same coding? I'm not sure which family that you are referring to. Are you referring to the code family or the primary document family? Can you email to me personally after this? Because during the webinar just now, I did not touch on the greater detail of families for documents and families for coding. I really hope that ASI can tag my name in DSG. Okay, please don't email me, but tag my name in DSG and I will come to answer your question. Next, Munira, I have 100 literatures. It means that I have read through all the 100 articles one by one. Yes, that is correct, Azhan. If you have hundreds of literatures, you will need to go through one by one because ATLASti is not a magical software that can do the literature review for you, but instead it's a software that can help to manage your literatures and manage the important points. You don't read, you don't get the output. Madam, the picture is blur. I'm not able to see the display clearly. It's okay, Muhammad Amsal. I am going to make the recording available and I'll get the admin of DSG to share the link soon at DSG. At the link, I'm going to activate the control functions that you can set the picture to be high definition. Okay, it's either the common setting or the high definition. Thank you, Puan. Thank you. You're welcome, Amy. Farah Liza, you asked me if I want to do some editing. Is it possible? Yes, of course. You can edit the code names. Okay, for example, in ATLASti, the code names, because I have edited conclusion just now. What if I want to edit the ones here? Concept of education. I don't find that this entire sentence is important, so it's only important this part until the word theory. So I can edit that. Now the quotations has been highlighted. If I don't answer your question correctly, Farah Liza, please tag my name in DSG after this. How much is ATLASti full version for students version? Thank you, Daha, for asking. I forgot to mention earlier that ATLASti is not a freeware. It's a shareware, meaning we need to pay to get the full version for students. You can navigate to our website at www.atlasti.com and you will find the published price is USD 99. To translate that into Ringgit Malaysia, it is approximately 365 Ringgit Malaysia for 2 years validity and renewable for another 2 years if your studentship is still valid. Now, for everyone who joins my webinar today, because they are sponsored by DSG and also I am affiliated to ATLASti company, I have good news. Any purchase coming through me and telling me, yes, I attended the DSG webinar, or you can also tell me that I have watched the replay of DSG webinar, I am throwing in 10% discount for everybody. Now, this discount does not come from me. This discount comes from the ATLASti company. What you are getting is a full version of ATLASti for student version, for 2 years at the discounted price of 330 ringgit only. You don't have to pay 365. It's only 330 as a gift because you have joined the webinar today or you are watching the replay of the webinar right now. Okay, you will need to email me at animunira@gmail.com and tell me that you intend to purchase, and I will get our project coordinator to give you further information, to reply your email, what are the documents that we need and what are the how to bank in the payment. Okay. According to Nur Aisha, your question is, my Arabic PDF is not searchable text, maybe it's images. How can I analyze unsearchable Arabic text PDF? Okay, not only Arabic or any other languages, Malaysian language, Arabic language, English language, Japanese language, Thai language, for example, if they are not searchable text, it will mean at least I cannot read them for auto-coding. Okay, but you can code them as an image. You will need to read through one by one because if that document is a secured PDF, in other words, you have downloaded that article, but you cannot highlight word per word. Yes, we do have such PDF documents available lying around somewhere on the internet, and when we download, oh no, I cannot highlight word per word. Rest assured, ATLASti will treat them as an image. For example, assuming that this is the image that you want or this is the paragraph that you want, this is a secured PDF, for example. I find that this document is like you're cropping an image. You don't need to highlight word per word, but instead you will highlight them as an image like this. I'm going to put a specific code name to it, and the code name test coding on image. All right, and that code has been added here. Now I want to output it. Okay, in ATLASti, in the output, okay, oops, I'm going to make it bigger, right? It will come out as how you have coded it earlier. If you have coded it as an image, now this feature is very useful if your literatures have table, have diagram, have features, have milestones, for example, or formula. If you copy word per word from the table, the formatting will be lost in a rich text format. But instead, if you want to maintain or you want to retain the size of this quotation, so you need to do the coding like that. Okay, you do the coding as an image, like cropping an image, and it will come out like that in your output later on. Another question. Thank you, Puan, for sharing. You're welcome, Amy. Thank you, Doctor. You're welcome, Artilashmi. Welcome, another DSG advisor, Zaki. I find that you have joined us. How much is the software? Actually, I have explained that earlier. The software for student version, if you have a student card, you are eligible for our student version at the price of 365. That is USD 99. But because you have joined our webinar today or watched the replay, you are eligible for 10% discount. I'm throwing in the discount for you, given by the company for any participants who join my training or my webinars, and I will be excited if you can email me after this and tell me that you intend to purchase, and we will send you more information. Okay, that's about it. There are approximately 9 questions so far. If you have further questions after we end the webinar, you can just go to that thread support group, ask the questions relating to the webinar today, but please tag my name, okay? Because there are a lot of things happening in DSG. I might miss your questions. So can you please tag my name or tag Anita Adnan's or another advisor, another admin, Kak Boni Ishar, okay? So you can just tag our names. I think that's it. I want to return back to Anita.
Okay, thank you very much, Hani. That was, I think, a very, very clear explanation on ATLASti. We do hope that we will have more of these webinars, soon, because this is what we want to do to help out the members. And I think everybody can see how webinars can actually help you attending sessions like this, yeah? Because you don't have to get out of your house. It's so easy to get connected online. And the video is, the slides are also quite clear. Your audio is very clear, Annie. So hopefully we can have more of this with other DSG advisors as well. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. And thanks, a special thanks to you, Ani Munira, for giving us this slot today. 1 hour of your free time. Ani?
I am so excited to meet with everybody. Thank you very much. I am sorry for any shortcomings on my part, especially there was a technical error when we are starting out. Fortunately, we have our technical expert around, who is another DSG advisor, Mr. Hazman Aziz, who helped me with the technical side of it. And now everything is moving fine again.
Okay, so please let us have the link when it's ready. Yeah, the recording, is it ready? I think it's already available on YouTube. Yeah, so
Yes,
that
it
we can
is.
share. Okay, thank you very much, Ani. So hope to see everyone very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.